Ahmed, who is one of the key players as NCIC, one of the key players when you talk about by-election and even the general election, including people like IEBC, the National Police Service, DCI, and all those players, including the clergy. From your assessment of Ol Kalou, I would like to pick your mind in regards to that and where you sit as NCIC. Do you believe, from what we are seeing, are we ready for next year?
Thank you very much. I want to start by saying that NCIC is a constitutional mandated institution in terms of making sure that we promote peaceful coexistence. We promote promote issues to do with reducing discrimination, ethnic discrimination, and I believe that IEBC doesn't work in isolation. It works with a number of stakeholders. For instance, we work with a political party, a registrar of political party. We work with National Police Services. We also work with the DCI, especially in the Department of Crime Unit. So basically, I believe that NCIC, I was talking to the Archbishop that Kenyans know NCIC as only institution that deals with hate speech. NCIC has other several functions, over 20 functions to say, but what Kenyans know that when they hear NCIC, it's about hate speech. And to just answer my friend is that NCIC is not quiet. NCIC has been working behind the scenes in terms of making sure that we have a peaceful by-election in Ol Kalou, by making sure that we train peace committees, we train youth to make sure that we have a peaceful election, and to make sure that we, as Kenyans, make sure that we do our democratic rights in terms of voting to be very peaceful. And therefore, as much as the institution is mandated to make sure that we prevent issues of hate speech, we also have been trying to provide summons to politicians who have been puking hate speech issues. A number of them have been able to, their cases been taken to Director of DCI, and they are ongoing, and therefore...
Shall we narrow it to Ol Kalou first? Because we'll be looking at the national, the national scope. Can we narrow it down to Ol Kalou? Yes, indeed, we did see 2 politicians fined.
Yes.
And Kenyans were so uncomfortable with it's just a mere fine.
Yes.
One of the MPs there was talking about, issuing the money, was talking about he was given 1.2 million to dish out, and they ended up being fined a few million, just 1 million and some few thousands. Based on what you saw, it's not these 2 politicians alone.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that the entire by-election was marred with a lot of issues in terms of bribery, be it in form of goods or in form of money. But the thing is, as the Archbishop has said, as Kenyans, we need to take responsibilities ourselves, because this is our country, and we don't have any other country, and we make sure that as much as there's that basic need that you require that day, we need to look at the bigger picture. Because I said NCIC alone cannot be able to make sure that we have a peaceful election. It is a multi-sectorial aspect of it that can be able to make us have a peaceful election, including the political parties. Because you look at, even I was telling the Archbishop that you look at what sells is negativity. What sells in the media is also negativity. When you do an aspect of good, it doesn't sell. So basically, as much as we are looking at the by-election of Ol Kalou, as a country, we need to reflect as people to do the right thing.
All right. I want to also engage the SG. My question is, from your assessment, because NCIC was on the ground, are you satisfied on how we managed the Ol Kalou by-election? And based on that, do you believe we can pick up these lessons and go into 2027 general election?
I think to some extent the by-election was managed well, especially on the aspect of the technical part of the voting processes. But prior to that is what I believe that we need to do more in terms of civic education, in terms of engaging the people that election is supposed to be free and fair from all stakeholders, including the political elite, because at the end of the day we are all involved. But I believe that IEBC did a good job in terms of the technical and the legal aspect of the election, and I do believe that prior to it we had challenges in terms of voter bribery, and that is what we need to work on as stakeholders to make sure that leading to an election, we need to have civic education, we need to engage our voters, we need to educate them, and that's what has been NCIC trying to do in terms of coming up with youths, peace ambassadors within Ol Kalou, so that they can be able to talk to the people. But sometimes you see there are challenges in terms of employment. And
okay, you'll be telling us about the challenges.
Yes.
My last question before I go to do you believe, based on what happened on Thursday, we are ready for the general election?
I think that is it will be an isolated issue in terms of Ol Kalou, because generally the entire political elites were, the focus was Ol Kalou. That's why the Archbishop is saying it looked like a presidential election. But I believe...
I don't believe it's an isolated case. I began this interview by saying that I also covered the Mbere by-elections. Okay. And to be honest, the gunshots, the tear gas, we were there, we had to run. You know, let's look at what happened in Western Kenya. We have to lose lives. And based on this, we cannot say it's an isolated case.
But what I believe is that an election is going to happen entirely. It is a democratic process that is going to happen. So
we are good, so far so good?
We have challenges, but I don't believe that the Ol Kalou aspect will be able to say that because what happened in Ol Kalou, we are not going to have an election. We might have challenges within the election, but election will happen. And
we need them to happen, and they will happen, and we need them to be peaceful. But
yes,
we will be delving deeper into
Thank
that.
You.
Allow me to also introduce Madam SG. Karibu sana to the program. And again, I want to pick your mind in regards to the Ol Kalou by-election. And based on what you saw, do you believe we are ready for 2027?
It's a bit scary. I think I have questions for the commissioner here. I barely feel your work. Is it a toothless commission? What exactly are you doing for Kenyans to have some confidence that you are indeed existing to make everything work, to have the ground leveled for women, youths who can be maybe attracted to even also participate to become leaders in future? Because after that, a few people said, if it's that murky, I pull out. You know, the youths are not attracted, and women, to the violence we witnessed. Hooded men, you know, in daybreak.
Madam SG, we will be talking about the Gunism because this is something that we need to tackle.
Yeah.
And the church has come out very strongly. Always, I think almost every Sunday you talk about the government really needs to get rid of these people. But I want to pick your mind in regards to that. I know NCIC is one of the major players. IABC and the DCI, I believe they call it the biggest weight when it comes to matters election. But from what you saw in Ol Kalou, I don't know whether you guys were there, but you are, of course, being the broad-based, you are supporting the UDA candidates.
We followed.
Yes. From what you saw, do you believe we are ready for the 2027 general election?
We have always been ready. Our government is always ready. IEBC is there. And for them even to still announce the way the results came out, they were ready. Okay, let me now ignore the violence bit. I was focused on that because it's what was more pronounced than even the results. But I want to applaud them because if you look or reverse earlier on during campaigns, the incitement that was happening during campaigns, hate speeches that were going on.
Bribery.
Yes, all that. We thought maybe even it will not reach where it did, but they succeeded. We have a member of parliament now because Kenya is always ready regardless. We make noise, we doubt each other, we start pointing fingers and saying that the winner is already known because money has been poured. It takes away the confidence from this institution, IEBC. But now, with what happened, I think we have confidence that IEBC, the people who are there, understand their job. Yes.
Bishop, from what you've heard from Mheshimiwa and, of course, NCIC and also Meli, do you believe that we really are ready? And you know, the church has played a historical role when it comes to matters election, and we are looking at 2027. What do you believe will be the role of the church? I really acknowledge that each and every Sunday the church is coming out strongly to urge politicians to, you know, to tame their tongues, to also ask Kenyans also to also deal with some of these governance issues that we have. And most of all, you have talked about Goonism.
Yeah, thank you so much. Listening to the team here and looking at what Kenya look like today, I'll still say we are ready for the 2027 election, but the by-elections, the three mainly, the one in Western Bere and Olkalau, has given us valuable lessons that I hope IEBC have picked the lessons, and I also think the political players have picked the lessons, and I also think the police service has picked the lessons, so that we can be able to say what need to be corrected, we have time to correct it. But as whether we are ready for the election, I think Kenyans are always ready. After every 5 years, an election has to happen. So in terms of mental preparation and expectation, every Kenyans expect that, and there is nothing short of that. Kenyans will want to go to that election. So mine is to say, what lessons have we learned from the by-elections that we need to pick? One of the lessons we have learned is that, you know, this competition should not be a life and death thing, so that people have to die in every election. We need to lift ourselves from there and say, can we have an election without causing death? And that can happen when we tame our tongues, especially the political class, because the matchbox that ignite fire in this country is not the real matchbox. It is what comes from the mouth of the leaders in that competition. We are also urging now the populace to pick lessons from what they have seen in the by-elections and still stand their ground and say we want to vote who has impressed us without being coerced with money or with development promises and agendas that are only emanating and coming at that particular point. So that if there is a development plan, it has to be a development plan for all and for every one of us. We need drugs in hospitals. We need education that is accessible to our children. We need good roads. We need an economy that supports everybody in the country, which must be a Marshall Plan for the country, not pegged on a constituency during an election. But what we have seen that things are moved during the election time. But we're also saying the language of mobilization is getting wrong. You have heard the songs that were being composed, vernacular songs, are sometimes songs of war, and songs that are mobilizing people ready for any eventuality. That should not be what we need to do. Let's pick those lessons and say, can we have an election that we compete without making it a matter of life and death? But as for the role of the church, we have always been very clear ourselves that the church doesn't pick sides. I might have a side as an individual, but I will not sell that as part of my preaching in the church. What we preach in the church is for the people of Kenya to know what qualities are they looking for in the leaders they are putting in place. We want to champion for the adherence to Chapter 6 of the Constitution, the whole issue of ethics and integrity as one of the civic education that we need people to learn, and say the leaders I'm looking for, at least we need to have these qualities before I cast my vote. We need to look at the blueprint of every political party, and what has impressed me, then that's what I will go by. But for the church, we say Kenya will remain after every election. We are not going to die with an election. We have to remain, and we are going to remain. And what we need to say, how can we preserve our country through an election so that we have a nation to build, irrespective of which political party came to govern us. because that's not the role of the church to say this must govern us and this must not govern us. But irrespective of who come to govern us, we must ask ourselves, how do we preserve the nation so that whoever comes to govern us will find a nation to be governed and to be governable. One of the challenges we have had in this country is a collapse of our institutions that are supposed to hold the country together. So that when the institutions are not, working to their full potential and they are not given the freedom to work, say the police service, if there is a laxity in the police service, or there is skewed in terms of who they will arrest and who they will not arrest, that will will remove public confidence. And we are now challenging the police service. Why are goons existing in Kenya? Who is supposed to maintain law and order? Is it the goons or is it the police? And we have asked this question time and again. I am on record as the Archbishop of the Anglican Church that I've said we will not give politicians a platform to speak in our churches on Sunday. They have now torn the line where I am. But they will still go behind me and go to my bishops and intimidate them. Or some, promise that I'm coming with a harambe and a huge donation. But at least I'm proud from where I sit. I was with the former deputy president during the inauguration of a bishop of Nairobi. He never spoke. I was with the former Honorable Raila Odinga in the inauguration of the Bishop of Nambale, not Nambale, but Butere. We never gave a chance. And I'm on record in Nyahururu, when I was consecrated the bishop, the president was there. Because of his stature, we only allowed him. But no other politician. They tried to say, can you have a politician who is an ally to my church to speak? I said no. So, and the basic reason is that we have no vendetta, we have nothing against them, but the language in which they bring, like you said rightfully, a politician stand to spew venom to the people in the electorate, and it is me behind him nodding, and the cameras will always want to zoom my activities behind that person, so that they demonstrate I'm in agreement. That's what I'm trying to say. Let us root out this so that if our politicians come to church, because they are welcome to come and worship in our churches, we don't want anything to be publicized. I said even if they are coming and we are giving, everybody's gift should be sacred. We do it secretly. We offer as God demand of us. If they want to speak to the people, let them wait, go and meet the people outside of the church compound. We have no issue with that. But using the pulpit as a space for championing political agenda is not desirable, and I continue to champion that. Should be the message from every church leader. We must stand our ground, and I am calling my bishops and other bishops. We must stand the ground that the church is for the preaching of the word of God. I got a lot of bashing for that, even from the politicians wanting to demand that they have a right to come and speak in the church, and I said, unless you are giving a testimony of when you are saved,
no politics.
But anything else, we don't entertain. So the role of the church will continue to be that of speaking reason to the nation and be the voice of reason, but also speaking for the voiceless, the vulnerable, because that is our space. Our space is not, to clap and to praise and to praise people. Ours is to speak on behalf of those who are voiceless, on the vulnerable, on the poor, on those who cannot access for quality health care. That's our role. Our role is to preach the gospel of salvation. Our role is to preach love, that we must love one another. And therefore, if we can allow our institution to function so that Parliament, they know their role is oversight the executive is to manage the affairs of the nation, the judiciary is supposed to deliver justice to all Kenyans, NCIC is supposed to help us have harmonious coexistence, EACC has to, her main role is to make sure that there is no corruption in Kenya and get back what has been taken wrongly. So if we allow this institution, the police service is supposed to give law, maintain law and order in this country. If each institution functions properly, let me tell you, everything will correct itself in Kenya. If we allow institutions to function as they should.
Well said. And let me pick from where Archbishop has left, actually in regards to security, because we cannot be losing life. Just as Archbishop has said, we cannot be losing life because of something democratic. And I want to take you to to the Ol Kalou and the by-elections in short. We have seen the presence of goons sometimes who, for lack of a better word, really look like the police. Allow me to touch on the Wetima incident, where, you know, you even saw the tear gas, you know, gunshots in church. Ol Kalou, we did see the same thing happening. No number plate vehicles. Are police being honest from where you sit? Are police being honest when, you know, the top leadership say that they are investigating this? I mean, this is all captured even in phones, in cameras, media. We are being attacked because of just trying to show. That is a matter of security. Where are we on this?
The National Police Service has several organs. We have the NIS, we have the CID,
yep.
We have the regular police, we have other sections of police, including anti-stock theft. And you can't tell me, as you ask whether they are honest, I am feeling like they are dishonest in what they are doing. Because, for lack of a better word, how can they say they are still investigating, yet they were present, 1,000 of them, yeah. And I believe there are more than 1,000.
Yes.
We saw the water cannons being there. We saw the heavy machinery that they had. Where is the intelligence? Are we saying that our intelligence service is dead? Are we saying that perhaps there's a game play within the National Police Service itself? Because you can't tell me that there are goons driving vehicles that are unmarked, when there's a rule that all vehicles should have their number plates displayed.
And even the county, the county commissioner did warn that those people will be arrested.
Yes, they haven't been arrested up to now. So sometimes we might blame the police, yet we are the ones who create chaos and expect them. You see, the police are humans like us, and the intelligence, we could be even more intelligent than they are. And the way we behave can hinder even their work. You could see people frisking police bags, police officers, asking even plainclothes police officers, why do you carry a gun? How do you ask DCI and NIS why they carry guns? Yet they are supposed to be like that under the National Police Code of Conduct. There is a way they operate, and you can create insecurity by thinking that you are making sure that there's security. And perhaps in Ol Kalou, the people of Ol Kalou themselves created the insecurity by making the police feel inferior. Again, we have
somebody
the media.
would argue, in as much as that there are 1,000 police officers, and it's a constituency that have about 75,000 registered voters.
Those are registered voters.
And we did see tear gas. Okay, why would you have tear gas, gunshots, you know, vehicles, intimidation? We had, we did see people being roughed up.
You see, there's a way police operate, and at the same time, you can't say the whole police service is for the government. It is a lie. There are some who
actually
are politically
did that. I think it was one of the first decrees that he signed.
Because even the politicians there, for example, Senator Medhu has around 4 police officers guarding him. So it can't be that the National Police Service is not aware. And IPOA should move in, actually, and investigate and ask how, because there is an oversight body that takes care of how the police conduct themselves. The IG has a chain of command, even up to the station level. From that chain of command, what has been reported, what has been dealt with, who has been arrested. At the end of the day, there was even a clip going online, a county commissioner arguing with somebody about the same, and the county commissioner using foul language, yet he is a public officer. That tells you that we need ethics. Chapter 6 of our Constitution should have been able to deal with any public officer who is misbehaving and behaving otherwise than expected. You can't tell me IBC will be able to deliver when the law enforcing agency itself is sleeping on the job. and again, the residents, the social media. Nowadays, we have a situation whereby we want to cover the police officers in their duties, how they perform their duties. At the end of the day, every police officer pulls out, decides now, do what you want, but siniko kazi, I'm working, do what you want. But at the end of the day, insecurity will be on your side. So it seems like, even as citizens, as I said before, mjenga nchi ni mwananchi, na mvunja nchi ni mwananchi. Whoever will bring security is a citizen, and whoever brings insecurity is the same citizen. We can't expect the police to act like Angel Gabriel, who knows everything at the same time. We are the ones who facilitate them to do their job. If we don't facilitate them to do their job, we want to make them feel inferior. Nowadays, a police officer takes action, he's videoed, then it's spread on social media. His family, even somebody starts sharing numbers and the faces of the family members where this police officer, do you think that police officer will work?
No,
Even if you were to give him all the
very
arms.
expressive in regards to the mask and the balaclavas.
And that is why they wear that.
And
perhaps that is how they are hiding,
then
so
we are
that they can
breaking
do
the
the
law.
job.
You did say that we need to observe the law, and we need to follow the law. I believe we also need to do that as well, including the police.
Yes.
Ahmed, based from what you've heard our colleagues talk about, I'm looking at the 2027 general election, your preparations as NCIC in regards to addressing one of the key challenges, which has been the hate speech. We have seen some heads roll, but I'm also looking at songs, just like Archbishop mentioned. We're also looking at AI. We've seen videos of even politicians fighting. How are you handling this?
Thank you very much. I agree with the previous speakers that as Kenyans, we need to be responsible. Just picking from what Mary has said, the police do not work in isolation. They work for the people. And if the people become what we are seeing now, then sometimes the police are forced to take some of the actions. I'm not supporting the police force to hide their identity. I'm not supporting the police force to be brutal, because the police force is an independent institution, and basically they need not to take any orders from anybody. They need to do their work as diligent as possible. And just to say something about NCIC, I want to say that NCIC is a neutral arbiter in all this. Our mandate is to make sure that we have a peaceful Kenya. Our mandate is to make sure that we have a cohesive Kenya, a country that we can be proud of, and a country that we can be able to leave the generations to come to be proud of. So basically, what we are doing currently is that we are doing a number of activities towards the general election. We are looking at, we are coming up with a conference where we are calling it a money conference, where we want to bring all political actors together, all political parties, with the help of Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, so that we can be able to have political parties sign what we are calling a decency charter, where you can be able to campaign in using the right language, using the right decorum, because we realize that our politicians, when they go to the podium, there is some insanity that comes to their mind. So we want to, from the onset, have that discussion, and any politician who flouts that will face the full force of the law. And basically, that's what we are doing. In terms of data gathering, NCIC is trying to understand the entire aspect of AI. AI nowadays is coming up with even coded languages, coded messages. So we are trying to invest in the knowledge of AI, where we have a department that is trying to monitor all the platforms, be it the media, be it the online platforms, so that we can be able to get informations. Are they happening? We have a situation room within NCIC that we have been able to establish. We are around 60 days in office now, so we are trying to do a lot of things in terms of building confidence. My sister talked about us being called toothless bulldog. I agree, because NCIC has not been communicating properly to the citizens in terms of its mandate. So what we're also doing is that the 20 functions that we have, we are trying to delve into those functions so that we can be able to unbundle those functions, so that Kenyans can be able also to understand what we do. It's not only hate speech. As I said, we work behind the curtains in terms of peace building. Peace building structures are continuous processes. We have issues to do with intercommunal conflict where we are trying to resolve them. We have land dispute issues. We have boundary issues that NCIC is involved. And maybe it is not in the media. The only thing that is in the media is hate speech. When someone talks about bad things, Kenyans will say, where is NCIC?
I think because it's so rampant.
Yes, because it's so rampant. And I assure Kenyans that with this new commission, we have pledged ourselves to make sure that we are natural arbiter in terms of making sure that we deal with politicians in terms of, be it from government side or be it from positions, because at the end of the day, we are independent institutions that are mandated to make sure that we protect the dignity of Kenyans. Thank you.
And it's a good plus. And I know, Bishop, you add your voice in regards to that. But Madam Sekjen, I'm looking at the political realignments and formations that we are expecting. And one of them is the UDA and ODM. Can I call it merger or partnership?
Coalition.
Oh, coalition. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Honorable Millie Odhiambo did warn that leaders are assuming Kenyans and the electorate, and that could cost leaders and also would cost formations. I'd like you to pick your mind in regards to that. Do you believe that as leaders you also are playing a key role in also polarizing the country in regards to how you talk to us, what you tell us, and how you organize yourself? Because I've seen politicians say that almost every politician has goons.
Okay, that was her opinion. Mine is if you want to partner or merger or go into a coalition with anybody, you look at their strengths and their weaknesses, the gaps they have, how you come in to fill the gap, and how you correlate, you know, and you focus on some major things. Primarily, wanting to build the nation without discrimination. Our party, ODM, is good at restoring our people's dignity, putting our people first. Nothing actually pulls my leg if there's nothing to build the nation or make sure that every community coexists, you know. My prayer is any coalitions that will come, starting with ours, let them just focus on making sure that Kenyans heal. We have so many sore points. Before we heal this one, another one comes up. And it's like we just wish everything away or cover it up instead of solving very well, digging down. Where did the rains start beating us? There are people that anytime I listen to them speaking, they do not bother about Article 38 and Article 81 of our Constitution. Especially Article 81. They focus on divisive politics. Right now, when I was reading some of the social status of people, there is a lot of cyberbullying. And I wonder, we have people in a department that works with fishing out such people who just wake up and misinform Kenyans, misleading Kenyans every day, giving false information, and such a person goes on misleading Kenyans and inciting Kenyans. They wake up, they make Kenyans wake up in the morning and look at each other as enemies. So I think we are good at just chanting and pointing fingers and not remembering, as a family, as a house in Kenya, we shouldn't be dividing that way. Even if we don't agree on some things, we should always put our country first. I want to urge, especially the Titans, when they are at war, there's a lot of attrition. The followers also fan the flames of hate by encouraging hate speech all the time. I hear like the former deputy president, most of the time, anytime he opens his mouth, it's division and it's hate. Very discriminative and unapologetic.
You know, unfortunately, he's not here to respond to.
He's listening,
to
and
those.
I know we have to give these examples, because if
Yes,
you keep
but we
hiding
have to,
a problem,
to be fair,
talk
we also
of
have to give
solutions if you can't pinpoint.
We also have to give somebody, maybe if we had somebody
a lot
from
of
his
hate
party
speech
a
going
right
on,
of
and
reply,
he's
as
the
opposed
paramount
to,
chief
I
of
wouldn't
that.
want to give you an opportunity here to come and spew what you know. We even have NCIC here. We wouldn't want to start here right in the studio. So if we don't have somebody, you know, for example, we cannot speak about somebody who is not here. You know that. You are a leader.
Get it.
Yeah.
But then we have people who are known for doing that, tearing Kenya apart, and we still don't see them even tasked to be responsible whenever they utter anything. As I keep on watching, I ask myself, and that is why I wasn't really picking on you, but I was just asking what exactly you do to correct that, or to purge some of the individuals that are good at making it worse. Kenya has so many issues. We have so many problems that any leaders from now on should be responsible, should be accountable, should tell us why in the first place they want to see more blood, more deaths in Kenya. Yeah.
Talking still on the security bit, we did witness, even in Olkalawa, people being assaulted, and we have seen women being intimidated. What is the space of women as we head up to the 2027 general election? Do you feel that you really are being given a good opportunity or given a good environment to do your politics, and at the end of it, or are you being given the security that you should be having?
Thank you for that question. The ground has never been levelized. And the few women who have dared to step up and be counted, they can write a story about that. I want to mention that safety is not an electoral problem, safety for women. It is a civilization problem, I think, if I broke it down properly. If you look at our homes, the courthouse, even here, it's always imbalanced. I'm the only woman here, and I don't think it's a scheduled incident. It runs from here to now the campaign grounds. The way we just see people coming up with 1/3, oh, gender rule, I don't know, 2/3. I'm tired of hearing those things. You cannot, as a nation, even if you asked a pilot friend of yours, you cannot start flying high with half an engine working. It will struggle, the plane will struggle, and it may not even land. And if it lands, it will not land well. So Kenya is suffering because we take advantage of women in many ways. And we assume that we will grow and get to the level of developed nations, leaving half the skill or half the talent behind the women. So in politics, the way women are looked at when they actually also go in the murky world is, one, that woman is a prostitute, spoiled, can never get married, she has forgotten her place in the society, and that place is where I come in strongly to ask what is actually there for a woman and a man. The bishop is here, and he can tell you well what Genesis 1:27 says. God created us in his image.
And likeness, yes.
Woman and man. So if you read it well in its light, there is nothing saying that a woman is half a man in his image, likeliness. So I want to just urge Kenyans that those who are badly cultured, not to drag in their bad characters when it comes to women. But those men who are civilized have no problem even when a woman is on in the podium or competing for any seat, from presidential to MCS level. And the country, our country, Kenya, is over 60 years now. We shouldn't be struggling with civilization issues or women in leadership issues, because Article 38 gives us all the right to vie. It gives us the right to vie. If I conjoin it with Article 81, it actually does not allow intimidation, violence of any kind, or imbalanced, improper influence, bribery. I want Kenyans to not intimidate anyone, woman or man. The violence that I witnessed in Olkalau and many times, even recently, youth convention, ODM youth convention in Busia, something terrible happened to me. I've still not come out of it. I'm thinking of how to handle it.
Even the last time you were here,
a man
you said
just pushed me in full glare of 2 elected governors and other elected members of parliament and over 3,000 young men and women. I controlled myself. I did not
Why
even
did he
go
push
emotional.
you? And what
I sat,
steps did you take?
Breathed in and breathed out. You know, sometimes you beat somebody at their own game. Because the reaction they expected from me, they didn't say it. I just relaxed and took up, pulled myself together and still ran the show. So women somehow are disadvantaged when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
One, they are pushed out by introducing violence. 2, they are pulled down by also introducing monies. Most women, I want to say, they cannot jolt so much. They cannot come out with a lot of money we see being splashed. And
it shouldn't be given in the first place. That's an electoral
it is so splashed that you wonder if any women can just come up. And somehow, those who have made it, I want to still applaud them. It's not a fair, leveled ground. And my brothers here will attest to it.
All right, you'll be telling us, there have been suggestions that we do away with the women rep seat, and also the 2/3 gender rule. The president has about 100 days to, there should be less than that by now, as the advisory by the court. And you are going into partnership with UDA, the same party that promised that half of cabinet will be composed of women.
We're in the right place right now. Just being there
the 2/3
in the
gender
coalition,
rule has
we will
not
push
been
it from
observed.
there. Actually, the courts
but you're in a coalition. You shouldn't
verdict.
we shouldn't be getting this advisory from the court. I think you're in a coalition with the UDA.
They are also
I think
an
they should
arm.
also be acting good faith.
The court is an arm of government, and they have advised the president well. Remember, ODM is the conscience of the constitution. Baba was good at pushing things that have not been well articulated using the constitution. I applaud the court this time. So the president should not overlook that. And as the incoming partner, we will also jolt or twist him a little to come out clearly and make sure that we have even a 50-50 arrangement.
Yeah, okay. Let me hear from Bishop. And you said that it begins here. I have a number of women working here. My camera ladies,
on this table,
my director up there is also a woman. But anyway, allow me to introduce this question, Bishop. It's an emotive one because you do remember what happened at All Saints, and that is why I'm asking: should the church remain politically neutral or challenge governance and political issues that are happening in the country? We did see that was a civic education process that was going on at All Saints when you guys were attacked. And for the benefits of Kenyans, where exactly is this case so far?
I just want to say that the scenario we saw at All Saints, you know, it was after the budget was read, and we participated, and I was very much present during the public participation.
That day you were present?
No, I was not present that day. Actually, I was not part of the organizing of that day. I said I participated in the public participation for the build-up for the budget. We made our contribution. But that workshop was being run by many organizations, civic education organizations, just to educate Kenyans. Now the budget has come, it's a public document. This is what it means for you. And which we thought it was something that was fairly done because every Kenyan needs now to know how do you then see the budget that was read from the expert's perspective, what will affect me and what does not affect me. So then for somebody to organize goons to come and disrupt in a church setting, we did not understand. And you know, I raised questions then, who owns these goods? What are the intention? And why are they not arrested? Of course, a few days later, we were told 5 of them were arrested. We never heard whether they were being taken to court. The case just fizzled out. But our deeper question is, we wanted to know who sent them, who owned them, because that's the bottom line. Goons cannot exist in a nation that has a robust police service without, you know, being arrested or their case being arrested. So the question is still there, asking who sent them and what was the agenda, and why have we not been told who are these people who own these goons. And that is now coming out clearly. It's not only All Saints. We have seen it now in Olkalau. We will continue seeing them. We have seen them even in the church, in our church in Kisumu recently. You know, anywhere there is a gathering. So is the message saying then churches should not gather, or churches should bar people from coming so that goons are not sent because somebody has come to church? What is the message? And that's what I'm struggling to understand. What is the message of this? And I think we need to sit as a country and ask ourselves, do we need goons so that we do away with police, or we have a police service that is robust and free Kenya from being controlled by anybody? Now, if you go to certain places in this country, and I've gone as the Archbishop to every part of this country, even the political leaders, I sympathize them many times, because now we have introduced this culture of handouts to our young people, that even going home or going to a service, you're always surrounded by people who are demanding for money. I was in one of the dioceses, and all of a sudden I saw people jump on the wings of my car, and they were knocking at my window. And when I dropped to say, I'm the Archbishop, I have no money, he said, ile sadaka ulirokota kanisani tunataka. Then I had to tell them, I don't collect sadaka. Come to church and see who collects sadaka, and I don't carry sadaka. So, and we drove with them for nearly a kilometer. I just told my driver, slow down, don't hurt anybody. Let me engage them, and we talked until they accepted to drop. I've seen recently in a constituency, a member of parliament went, and young people surround him, and they are demanding for money. Now, this
we also saw the PS Fikirini incident.
Yes, the PS Fikirini incident. You mobilize and you don't give enough, then they demand, then you saw what happened. So all what we are saying is that this culture of goonism starts from those little handouts that we give young people to mobilize, either to protect us or to come and applaud us when we are speaking, especially the political class. And this is a very dangerous route, because if you create them to know that there is something I'm expecting when there is a gathering or a mobilization fee for me to mobilize a crowd for this person to come either and applaud, or we are being mobilized to come and heckle somebody that is not wanted here, the day those things are not happening, those meetings are not happening, they will still have to eat, and we have showed them. They will now begin hitting everybody, they will go up to our houses, they will go to the roads, they will stop everybody. We shall degenerate this country into anarchy. So the best thing to do is for each and every one of us, the political class, the best thing we can do with our youth is look for opportunities, not give them an opportunity to rely on handouts. There was this interesting conversation I was listening in my car radio. Somebody was asking, is it good to be a good or to be a teacher? I said, it doesn't pay much to be a teacher, because what happens, I earn a salary that I wait for a whole month, then KRA raid it, and I get almost half of that salary. But this one, I'm paid on the move, and there is no taxation. So I better be a goon than be a teacher. So if we, make our children to feel a decent job does not pay, but this illegal, arrangement pays better, then what will stop them from now taking over and demanding the way Mungiki was demanding from every matatu, from every village, from every business? we are treading on very, very dangerous ground as a nation if we go that direction. And I think it's high time the leaders and the nation stand up and say no to goonism, and anybody involved as in a goon activity is arrested and face the full force of the law and allow that to happen. On coalitions and political formation, as you ask Mheshimiwa here, from where I sit and many Kenyans sit, normally in Kenya we don't have formations that last longer. The
marriages of convenience.
Yeah, they are assembled in every election.
Strange bedfellows.
And then they cross over.
Bedfellows.
And they cross over.
Yeah.
And the venom we are hearing is because they go and injure themselves immediately to dismantle that for the next vehicle. So I think for our democracy to mature, let's have political parties that have an ideology that is held accountable by Kenyans, and that ideology must be owned by Kenyans, not by the politicians. No. The problem we have is that every political party is owned by a politician and serving the interests of the politicians, not the interests of Kenyans.
Yeah, very well said. We need to take a quick break, but allow me just to ask this. We did see in those videos, you'll be answering this question when you come back, the police officers that we saw, who are always there at all scenes, but they more or less, they had received communications, just keep it easy, because we didn't see them do anything. You'll be telling us all about that, but when we come back, we've been speaking to Archbishop Dr. Jackson Olesapit, who is the Anglican Archbishop. Then we have Honorable Catherine Omanyo, who is the ODM Secgen, and also Women Rep Busia, and also a member of KEWOPA. Also, it's a good thing to mention that. We also have Sami Meli, who is a political analyst, and also Ahmed Bilo Hassan, who is a commissioner at the NCIC. We're getting deeper into this conversation when we come back.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kenya.
Wake up with Good Morning Kenya, the morning show that's got it all.
We dive deep into issues shaping our country.
Youth are a voice of a nation.
What is the next step for the young people?
Unpacking political landscape from Monday to Wednesday.
We discuss family matters.
It is very important to guard your relationship.
And for your health.
Someone doesn't wake up and they become an addict. It's in stages.
We've got you covered each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Every Wednesday, it's all about the viewpoint.
A day in politics is like 1,000 years.
Unpacking the biggest stories of the week, getting you insights and getting you ready for your day.
And the package is not yet done. I get to fix your Thursday with some entertainment. Entertainment Thursday, it is.
Good morning, Kenya.
We shape your day.
Good Morning Kenya, every weekday morning on KBC Channel 1.
There's only one path here. Fomalhaut's cell is on the mountainside. I wonder if Tai Wei has retrieved the fruit.
General Meng, this is a letter from the Mirror Village. Read it.
Kazi ni kuingia, kuchukua mtoto, alafu basi unatoka clean.
Hakuna mali yangu hata kidogo nampatia. Manake naona sasa anaanza kutumia kifua.
Haya. Yaani mimi na mke wangu tunapika chakula ya watu zaidi ya 50, alafu wanakosa kuja kwa sababu yenu.
Mimi na Andrew tuko na information kuhusu wizi unaofanyika sasa hivi.
Isijasikia mambo ya uwizi wa mabavu wala uwizi wowote.
Unajua Biblia imekataa talaka kabisa.
Sema chenye ilikuleta hapa kisha uondoke.
Nenda ngefikira timandi ni tepe Andrew mpaka akona kizi zake za nyumba yake.
Welcome back to KBC News Tech. Many thanks indeed for keeping us company. And on this second hour, we delve deeper into the roadmap into 2027. We are looking at issues as of course affecting women and the youth, new voters, political realignment, and also the peace that we are also praying for. And allow me just to quickly again introduce, we have Honorable Catherine Omayo, ODM Secretary. We also have Archbishop Dr. Jackson Olesapit, Anglican Bishop, and also we have Ahmed Biro Hassan, who is a commissioner at NCIC, Sami Meli, political and governance analyst. Well, before we crossed over, we did see police officers, and there are police officers manning Osen's Cathedral, but we didn't see them do anything during that day. We saw people being attacked, their phones stolen, their money stolen in the church.
Yeah, but I must begin by saying we appreciate those two policemen who are there and stationed, because actually if they were not present, we don't know what could have happened. They deterred to some level, but they were overpowered because the young men came with motorbikes and forced themselves in. And then then somebody told them, your motorbikes might be banned in the church. So they ran out to the motorbikes, then they went and regrouped, and they came now a whole team of about 70 of them. But the two policemen did call the reinforcement that came earlier, later, to help restore. Yeah. But these young men were very vicious in running into the space where the meeting was. Then there was fighting in the corridor because the meeting, the attendants of the meeting actually were more than them. When they were coming out, I think that's when the police shot in the air, and we saw them begin to run away. So the information I have from the provost of the cathedral and the clergy who are present is that if those two policemen were not there to call for reinforcement, it would have been worse. So, and there were only two who were normally present during the day. Even those ones, actually, they were not, we normally have policemen during Sunday, but that was a weekday. So the two were there, were brought by another team, because the cathedral has many spaces hired by different groups. Yes. So there was a group that brought two policemen, for their meeting. So they were not part of guarding the cathedral itself. So they were just found in the compound, and they are the ones who did call for reinforcement that saved the day. But as to, one young man was arrested that day. He was beaten and taken to hospital. And later on, we are told 5 other people were arrested, and we don't know what happened after that. But we have not seen anybody in court.
So as things stand, Archbishop, is that nothing is happening in regards to that? What happened on that day?
I have no idea what's happening. Okay. It just died out.
It fizzled out.
Yeah, it just died out.
Melly, picking from where Archbishop has left, are we witnessing a shrinking civic and political space? Reason being, Madam Secretary has mentioned how she has been pushed to the wall just by being the Secretary of ODM. And Archbishop has talked about what we saw at Osen's. That's all public participation. It wasn't activism or a political rally. That was a public participation exercise. People exercising their civic and constitutional right. Are we witnessing a shrinking one?
I think a political office has been made to look like is a royal position whereby if you get into it, perhaps you are held so highly One of the things the 2010 Constitution wanted to fight was the situation whereby politicians run the show. Theirs was to do, for example, if it's a member of parliament, it's legislation, oversight, and representation. Over the years, the Constitution has been mutilated, and the ruling class has allowed this as they are sent into those bills. But at the same time, we are at catch-22 because we are the ones who also wrote the Constitution and said if it is not assented within 14 days, the Constitution, the bill automatically becomes law. So whether the president assents to it or not, I think the political space has become a money laundering or a money, an investment where people go to make a kill and then come home, retire into luxury. And we are the ones who facilitate this. One, if you were to run for an MCA, try any ward in this country. If you don't spend up to 10 million, you will not get that seat. Because one, those youth want money. They want money. And they are not joking. They tell you they want mobilization fund. And if you don't mobilize, they will jeer you to the extent that you will feel like you need to give that money so that you are heard. So if you see any politician being jeered in a political rally, know that he never facilitated. You see, those cheering, the people who come, half of them have been mobilized to come and cheer somebody. And if that somebody is not given a microphone, they will jeer whoever is speaking until that person is given a microphone. That means that person has funded those people. And that makes the political space smaller. It becomes a space for the rich people. If you look at our current parliament, how many were elected without using money? Perhaps 2 or 3. The rest of them had to spend money. Look at somebody spending, for example, up to 200 million to become a member of parliament. A member of parliament is paid less than $1 million per month. How many years will it take him to accrue? Remember, this 1 million, close to 1 million salary is deducted in HIF, NSSF, SHIF, everything. And at the end of the day, gets around 500 or 400 to take home, including mortgages that they have been given. So
yeah, Njue is smiling, so that is exactly what happens.
Perhaps you will see me aside later. Now,
why would somebody spend more than 10 million in
listen, there is mobilization, there is outreach. You must have people who represent you in every harambe for school fees, every harambe for funerals, a harambe for somebody flying out of the country, a harambe, sometimes even you receive calls, because I've read before, you receive calls, Mheshimiwa tuko watu 10 to sort. How will you sort them with your small salary? So this makes these members of parliament, these MCAs, these senators, to go into the public coffers to get funds. Sometimes even lying. You hear somebody say they have constructed a toilet at 4 million. If you look at the toilet, yours at home is better than that one, and it has not taken 4 million. So it tells us that as a country, we need to have our sense back. Somebody has to slap us back to our senses, back to factory settings, where we were in 1963, where we were nationalists. We were to look at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga as a leader, where we looked at Jomo Kenyatta as a leader. Now we look at, for example, Senator Methu as a kingpin. For what? What are these pins for? We have enough pins. So why are we going there? The presidency is seen like a monarch, whereby everybody, once you are there, you have reached where you are going. Look at the UK. In the last 10 years, they have had 7 prime ministers. Last week, another one left. We have not even had violence in London, but another one has been sworn in. We are making politics to look like it's a do or die. Listen, for anyone struggling, you have a maximum of 100 years in this world. Why are you making all this noise in this world? This world can move on without us. Somebody was saying if the earth was to become empty all of a sudden, the nature will will be the happiest. I think we are the vermin in this world, whereby we don't observe our manners. We are not observing table manners in climate. We are not observing table manners in security issues. And at the end of the day, we become, right now, if you tell somebody to walk around at night in Nairobi, they don't fear the lions that might sneak from Nairobi National Park, but they fear a fellow human being. You can't walk, Trevor, if you are to leave this, Bentro, if you are to leave this studio at midnight, you will be scared because of a human being and not of an animal. And therefore, the human beings in Kenya, the Kenyans should revisit. Let's go back to where we came from and ask ourselves, if we ate the same ugali mom served without fighting, without struggling much for it. Everything you ate, like my mom would say, let's thank God for what we have and pray for more. You see, so when you have the next meal, you'll be happy because of what? You think, you believe that that has been provided to you. So these elections we are going into and what we have had should not divide us. Look, go to Kenyatta National Hospital. I'm a regular donor of blood. I don't care who it goes to. But why would you want to hurt me because of political seat? Let's agree and say, so and so has been chosen. That's where you will see in Parliament today or tomorrow when the new member of Parliament will be sworn in. You will not know who was UDA, ODM. They will be cheering and they will be sworn in. And you might find that member of Parliament joining this other political class. And life continues for them. Why should we be enemies as people?
And Commissioner Ahmed, picking from where Melly has left, our politics are very lucrative, for lack of a better word, because if you can spend much more money than you are intending to get, then it shows you there is something else that you are up to. But I would like to pick your mind in regards to what are the earliest warning signs of political hate speech that you are currently monitoring. Allow me to give you this example. Last week, but one on Friday, there was a Nyota second phase disbursement, and I was sent to Tharaka Nithi County. Allow me to mention these CSs. CS Geoffrey Rocco, we have CS Muga. We also had Embu Governor, Cecily Mbarire. And she said that they don't care about what the Mount Kenya East is doing. And now we have Mount Kenya East, Mount Kenya West, you know. And the CS Rocco has sustained this conversation. Does that constitute to anything that NCIC needs to investigate? CS Muga, I'm saying this because they were caught on camera talking about this, and even Governor Mbarire also did speak about this. Does this constitute anything that NCIC needs to investigate? Because you said your mandate is not only hate speech.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me start by saying that to agree with the other colleagues that election is not a matter of life and death. I think as a country we need to go back deeply to our values, the way we were raised up as children, as community members, and the values that have been instilled within us by the society and by our parents. As mentioned that NCIC has a broader mandate in terms of looking at peace building and cohesive country. And just to retract back is that we are engaging a lot of stakeholders. The issue of Gunism has been mentioned by the previous speakers, and that is something that we are following it with a keen interest. And we are saying, look, we need to take care of our youth because they are vulnerable, they don't have opportunities in terms of employment, and the people who are supposed to give them employment are using them for their own sake. So we have partnered with a number of universities in terms of...
Actually, the next question will be about youth, and I would like us to also engage them and the Gen Z and also the new voters. Yeah, because they form the biggest part.
So just to answer your question, is that we are working with the Communication Authority of Kenya in terms of trying to transcript some of the statements that the politicians are saying. For instance, the issue of Ruku, where he talked about Mount Kenya West and Mount Kenya East, and that Mount Kenya East is not a Kikuyu They are Kamba. They are.
No, actually, the Mount Kenya East. We are the Embos,
and all that.
And,
so we are trying to. We have raised that. It has been raised within our monitoring and early warning as something that can be able to create animosity within the community. So we are trying to transcribe that. We have got his communication. We have sent generally what NCIC does. We work closely with the Communication Authority of Kenya in terms of transcribing and trying to see what is the threshold in terms of a statement maybe a person has said in terms of hate. So we are closely working with these institutions. We are working with...
But allow me, Commissioner, to interject, because to be very honest, if you guys are transcribing, I'm talking about that happened last week but one.
Yes.
And that is what he said there.
Yes.
He has sustained that. He didn't say it once, he said it more than once.
Yes.
And you guys are still transcribing and working with the Communications Authority. I don't think Kenyans are very happy to hear about that.
What we are doing...
even the Deputy President, I think it's over the weekend, he had to toe the line and tell him that, your cabinet secretary, you cannot do this. That is the cohesion.
I think we have issued a number of media briefs regarding issues of hate, and I think as an institution, because we work closely with other institutions, especially in terms of investigation, that is something that is ongoing, and I know Kenyans want immediate response.
Because we haven't heard that he's recording a statement or anything. So if you guys are transcribing, I think Kenyans want to know exactly why it's taking so long.
No, that's what we are trying to see. Because for NCIC, our role is to investigate and share what we have investigated with DCI, Director of Criminal Investigation, and then they take up. So basically, we are not an entity of that is able to arrest somebody because you have said this and this. So we work closely with this institution so that we can be able to fast track those investigations so that a decision can be able to be taken.
So far we still wait, and because in as much as we are talking about hate speech, we also need to be cohesive. Yeah. If at all we are now, we've been able now to notice that we were talking about Mount Kenya. Now we have a Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. One of the things that the speakers did say during that function is that the Mount Kenya West benefits from all the roads, the infrastructure. That can divide people along tribal lines. And we are hoping that you guys are going to do something.
We are going to do something.
Because we haven't even had people that have a record a statement. I think the NCIC just like was Melly pointed out, you guys owe Kenyans something better, because at the end of the day, they are taxpayers. And that is just an isolated case. What if we go to the 2027 election, and now the Luya Nation notices that we have a Luya East, a Luya West, the Mombasa, we have a Mombasa East, we have the South Coast and the East Coast. I don't think that
I hear you, Meli. I hear you, and I feel for the opinions of Kenyans. We also hear that.
Yeah.
And the way we are structured is that we don't have currently prosecutorial powers where we can be able to start a case and conclude it as fast as Kenyans want. That's why
we've seen you summon politicians.
Yes,
These are cabinet secretaries.
Yes. It is in the process. We are doing our investigations. At the end of the day, you have to do the right thing so that later on, whatever case that you are prosecuting should not come back to you. So we are following the due process in terms of making sure that we get it right, so that it doesn't just end like that.
All right. Allow me to go back to Honorable Madam Catherine Omanyo, the SecGen ODM. I also want to include the youth and women in this, because let's be very honest, other than being used for negative things, youth are not prominent when it comes now to the sharing of the cake and giving out the opportunities that are there. We are looking at 2027 election. Could be billed as the biggest election. We did see the mass voter registration. We are having around, by now I'm quite hoping that we are at about 3 million new registered voters. How can we rope in, and more specifically, how is ODM? We know you have a very strong youth league. How are you galvanizing youth so that they can make their own decision, and especially the Gen Z, as opposed to what we are seeing now? They have been turned to goons.
We have actually been holding youth conventions across the country, and we have just left it to be youth-led, so that we also understand them. Many times we interfere with their thinking, and we don't let them be. So we are letting them speak first, then we come in as people who can help out from what they know to what they do not know. Because they are still young people, they can make some errative decisions that can land us as a nation in trouble, or maybe be part of the solution. So we are just synchronizing what they have already put on the table with what we think can go in line with the doctrines of the party. And I like it because most of them are ready. They are ready, even if they lack some things, which is understandable, but they are ready. Any youth can lead this nation. It's just that they don't have the resources and other things that are perceived to be factors in politics. Our party is good at enabling women and youths be what they want. Our party leader today, Dr. Oburu, is adamant to things that take away from any upcoming leaders. So I want to urge all the young people, those who still don't know where to go or what to join, to come to ODM. It's the party to beat, and it's the party to belong. If you're not in ODM, you are a little bit confused.
Yeah, and because the youth want something that has a future.
Yeah.
You have a future because as things stand, we don't know where ODM and UDA stand.
We're still negotiating, and we are not in a hurry to finish negotiations. We haven't even started anyway.
Have you incorporated more women and more youth in those discussions?
Tell me which party in Kenya has been there for the last 20 years and above. ODM only. And the party that has tangible, formidable structures, from polling station to branch chairs, county chairs, all the way up. It's only ODM. Others, I do not want to talk about theirs, because everybody has their strategy and their hidden cards. But with ODM, it is open, because we encourage the young people and we encourage the women, people living with disability. We have a data of everything. If I pre-edit myself and also maybe pluck a page from my colleagues on this table, they've been talking about goonism and things like that. Many young people are jobless. And it's not that they have no skills. In fact, they're smart. They can come on your page and even turn it round and talk for you, block your way out of your own page. They can do anything. They can even go into the treasury and do whatever they want. It means we have not utilized them. And if you do not utilize a hyper-active person, then expect the opposite. They will dismantle. I can give a small example of my own nephew. He knows so many things. One day I brought somebody to do something at the switch. The switches, something had gone wrong. Before the fundi arrived, he went and clicked something, and everything was back, working well. I was like, what? I was so motivated. I want to push him more. So instead of just analyzing that young people, maybe most of them have gone into goonism, we need also to understand where, as a nation, we went wrong. We could have done something. Nations like America, there's a gap here where many young people go into training. It's equivalent to NYS in Kenya. But again, NYS is again a little discriminative. Those who go there, they were forced to go. These people we call goons, most of them have gone to stadiums to be, I don't know what they do, recruitment, to join NYS or to be a soldier, but they have been failed because nobody was there to actually even tell that this one, even by the way he's talking, the way he's walking, the way even if he did not come in top 10 while they were sprinting, he is a soldier. So he's left out more than 4 times. I have an example of one. So he gave up. Now he's trying to be a bodyguard and something because that is his dream. So our nation needs also to bring these people we mark, we profile, stereotype as bad people, and start to see how to be part of a solution to them as well. In the police docket, we also have goons, bad apples in the police force. Those who act badly, behave badly. Instead of even using some other ways of instilling fear when people are misbehaving, they use bullets. That is harsh. We, as a trained person, you have to maybe use other ways of bringing order than just using the one major one that we observe every time, bringing deaths, and then we now hate the police. Not all the policemen are bad. And we want to also caution those who practice code of silence. They might be knowing who shoots. When they are seated, one of their colleagues can say, I did it, but they do not want to interfere with the colleague's misconduct. They let it happen. So Kenya is not a police state where the police go unchecked. And I want to repeat that any police who has been maybe mentioned that they shot our young people and they have not been charged or checked, that should happen.
To be very honest, there are very many. Based on the 2024, based on the Sufuria revolution, we even began there. A lot of young people, over 100 young people have died. And if we look at how many people are now behind bars because of that,
because if we don't do that,
very disappointed.
The police will be enemies of the people instead of friends to the people. And the people will gather and start also surging against the police. Where are we headed to as a nation? We will be the Haiti we went to take care of.
Very good. Archbishop, let me pick from where she's left. How can we avoid having an Haiti? Because the moment that we are incubating our young men and women to be goons, throwing stones, heckling, following politicians, looting in broad daylight, what is the role of the youth here? Because it seems that politicians just want to use them. Not all of them. Some politicians want to use the young people in bad ways. How can we incorporate them in the 2027 general election? And more specifically, because they are the majority, into the nation development and also their voice. They need to make their voice heard.
Yeah, thank you so much. Before even we think about youth in 2027, I think the frustration the young people have in this country is that meaningful opportunities are not available for a majority of them. And Mheshimiwa here has talked about, if they go looking for opportunity for job employment 5, 6, 7 times, then frustration, creeping, and despair and desperation now lead them to accept anything that come their way. So I think the first thing that we need to do as a nation is to look at how do we build an economy that will expand the uptake of our youth in meaningful, engaging, employment by opening up industries, by, getting them an opportunity that they can be able to get a decent income for themselves, but also inspire not just in the investor confidence, but also inspire them by creating opportunities even for self-employment, by creating an enabling environment for self-employment. And all this can, be looked at broadly. One of the things that is scaring people now in this country is over taxation, that even investors are not confident because of the heavy taxation burden they have, even on the employees that also touch on their investment, because if there is a contribution by an employee and then by the employer, then that scares. Then the whole aspect of creating markets for products that Kenyans are producing, including content creation, which was also being looked at for as an opportunity for taxation. So before we look everything as an opportunity for taxation, how can we inspire that growth so that when it inspires and every young person has an opportunity to self-employ and to do something meaningful, then we can now have them get involved in decision making. Because the whole processes of election is getting access to the platform of decision making. I kept on answering, asking the question, why are we not investigating the anger levels of this country? Why are Kenyans angry? And because it's displayed everywhere. In 2024, you saw the anger of the young people. I participated in the public participation for that bill of 2024, and my parting shot with the politicians was listen to the people, what they are saying. Because if you run this exercise as a public relation engagement and you are not listening to what Kenyans are saying, then you are going to deepen the anger levels. And the big question now is, why are young people of this country angry? Angry at themselves and angry at us, people who are in leadership today, including myself and the church, because they were even saying we don't want churches, we don't want anybody. I think we have not given them an opportunity to be heard. So when you block the opportunity for them to be heard, then they have to push their way. We have also not incorporated some of the ideas that they raise in our decision-making processes, so that we are listening to what people are saying, but we are making an opposite decision from the expectation of the conversation around the nation. So if we can be able to relook at how do we engage, some of these things can be addressed as, as relational things. How do you relate with the other person? If you block me and you don't listen, how do you expect me to come back to you in a civil way? I can only come to you now by force. And this is why we are now hearing these languages, by force, by fire. So we need to investigate why are the anger levels of this country getting deeper and deeper. It is because when decisions are made, they are made against the wishes of the majority, or when the decisions are made, even when we pretend to involve because the Constitution demands public participation, it doesn't happen the way, because people will come, they participate, but contrary decisions are made from what they have viewed as their views. So listening to one another and reasoning them out, and even coming back to explain, yes, we heard you, but we also considered all these others, and this is the best decision we have made. If we are able to give those communications in good time, then we shall be in a better place. Now, youth and 2027. Yes. I think they are making a statement, Niko Kadi. We have seen registration of new voters in this time more than any other time in the history of Kenya. We have never registered new voters, and they have deliberately come out to register. And they are telling every political formation, as I hear them, Niko Kari lakini si kwako. We are making our own decision. Yes. And I think we need to listen to that statement. Yes. Niko Kari lakini si kwako. So we need to ask, where is the mind of our young people? Because they have a mind. When they were in the streets in protest, I was one of those leaders who told them, make your statement in the ballot, because that's the only way you can make a democratic statement, not in the streets. Now, I'm hearing now more of them saying now, we have withdrawn from the street, but Niko Kadi, I'm making my statement there. So we are not knowing exactly what formation they will take in 2027. Yes. I see political parties are all trying to woo them.
I think they should be scared. Politicians should be scared.
They are trying to woo them from left, right, and center, yes. But they have their own mind. And I don't think we are careful enough to ask ourselves, what is in the mind of the young people of this country? And they are sharp. They know. And they can investigate more than we do. Actually, they are many times ahead of DCI. They are ahead of any investigation. You can now see they can hack anywhere. Yeah, if they hack the highest places of this country.
We're hoping those who hack the president's website, they're not young people from this country.
Yeah, we hope so.
We hope so. Melly, I'm looking at the very powerful words by Archbishop that, yes, they are making themselves known. A good example is the Niko Kadi campaign, and they are making it clear that Niko Kadi lakini si yako. Can they, youth in the country, join hands and change the political landscape in the country? And how can we support them? Because I'm looking at what we are seeing youth engaged in, and looking at the numbers, the sheer numbers that they have, the tech savvy they are, the sharp mind that they have. Can they decide enough is enough? We need to take control of this country.
I want to agree with Archbishop and Hook, Line and Sinker for every statement he has placed. Perhaps that's the reason he's the Archbishop. Now, the youth are making a statement, and they are getting all of us off guard. These are the children we have taken to school. We have gave them free primary education. We are giving them free secondary education, if at all it is free. These are the people we mobilized 100% transition. We made sure that they also go into TVETs and the higher institutions of learning. Now they have the knowledge. What do they do with the knowledge? For me personally, I usually make sure that every opportunity I have for anything that can be done, I give it to a young person. I am engaged in the youth in my church, and I think the church is doing very well. I want to congratulate Archbishop here for the CTC Center here at SEK, All Saints Cathedral. You may wonder why I know, and I'm a Catholic. There are even 168 bishops drawn from Eastern Central Africa here at Kwea from Catholic, having an AMESEA conference where they put the youth agenda as the first one. And many churches are doing their part, and even I know the mosque must be, the Muslim brothers must be able doing the same thing for the youth. Now, the government is where perhaps it's failing us in how to address the youth agenda. You come with the solution they are not ready with. Just the way the bishop has said here, that we have to engage them. You don't come with a situation whereby you want to send me Njue, yet I want my Njue here. To build my future here, you want to send me out of the country. So perhaps engaging them, make the youth leagues become vibrant. The youth have resources, they have the knowledge. Like the other day, somebody came up with a digital voting kit that would go hand in hand with what IBC is doing, and you realize that there are people who are knowledgeable here, but they are not being given space. What happened to the NYS compulsory, after high school, compulsory joining NYS? Because I've worked with people from NYS who have gone through NYS. They are the most disciplined people in the job industry. So the question is, this kazi mtaani, for example, couldn't these people be attached to government parastatals, and they do that kazi mtaani within the parastatals as volunteers, but they take something home as a little salary? They feel decent rather than giving them slashers. You see, there are youth who are not ready to do the slashing of grass, but they are ready to do something that will build this country. Perhaps even the hacking of government systems, they were making a statement and telling you, perhaps you are using the old things. We have the new generation. We are in AI technology. The youth have to be engaged and engaged seriously. Don't just appoint a CS who is a youth to show that the youth have been represented. Don't nominate a member of parliament and tell that the youth, now you see we have nominated you. Where is the youth ministry which deals with youth issues and collects visions and what the youth want done? Because I am sure when we are saying that our country is growing at GDP of 4.6, this youth can make a double digit if they are given an opportunity. Go into government parastatals. Go into government institutions. When you need something done, please avoid the aged people. Go to those young people. They just listen to you. Actually, they have their headphones. That is normal for them. They remove it, they hear you, then they tell you 1 minute. Then they give you back a feedback, and you are done. But the old one will tell you, you know, whoever signs, ninaweza kukusaidia, I can help you, but give me a minute. Walks into another office, just and does nothing there, then comes back and tell you, can you come next week? Then you tell them, this is urgent. He tells you, but can you do something small? You see, when our generation, this age we are the vermin in our country, in our civil service. The youth are the people who will take this country forward. If the president is listening, Akina Tom Mboya, when they were cabinet secretaries, they were under 40. Those are the people who changed this country. These people who have made, wacha waende retire polepole wakule ila wameunda, the youth should come into government and change this country. Look at countries. They are electing a 20-year-old, 30-year-old into Syria. Macron came into power at what age? Yeah. And you can see what he's doing with France. So we have to change our narrative. If this youth can entertain you to the extent, how many old people can entertain you, Bishop, and you are happy at the end of the day you say that conference was nice. But we are not giving them the space that they deserve. The civil service can absorb these people, but absorb them in a constructive way.
All right.
The head of our country, whoever it is and whoever it will be in the coming years, should tap into this. And remember, our pyramids, our population pyramid looks like this. The lower generation, the younger generation are the majority. And if we don't tap into this majority, we are creating a crisis for the future, which the future is even now already has come. The crisis has come.
All right. I've been given 4 minutes for winding up, but I would like to also, as NCIC, Kenyans are uncomfortable on how the speed that you guys are working. So allow me to point out that there is an issue of kulinda kura, protecting the vote. This is something that is not even in the Constitution. This is not something that, because we know kulinda kura, what it means. We did see some confrontation, and we are trying to avoid this. I think this is something that you also need to add to your to-do list. But I want to give you a minute each. Kindly, we are leaving at exactly 11:50 for the closing statement.
Thank you very much. I agree generally with what my other participants have said, and I was initially saying that youth are at the center of NCIC. The new commission looks at youth as a potential in terms of change, positive change, and that's why I earlier raised of the Jukwaa la Wasomi. We are trying to engage leaders within the university, all the university in the country leaders, or the youth leaders, in terms of making sure that they are peace ambassadors for NCIC and the country at large. And also we're also creating a regional hub for the youth where we can be able to train them in terms of identifying hate speech, incitement, and all this. So 8 regions, the former 8 regions, we will have NCIC regional hubs, so that the issue of NCIC being in Nairobi is decentralized to regions where we can be able to get information at speed. Right. So in my closing remarks is to say that we hear the Kenyans' feelings in terms of NCIC being slow. We are trying to amend the law in terms of making sure that we have prosecutorial powers, so that we can be able to prosecute cases very quickly, so that Kenyans can be able to see actions taken quickly, because I know that that is what Kenyans are looking for. And as a commission, we will make sure that our key mandate in terms of being impartial, being non-partisan, we will put it our center of engagement.
1 minute, Madam SG.
Yeah, I want to just comment on the violence. Whatever we witness in any elections, be it by-election, it reveals the broken society we are in. And we need to have a structure, structural safety that can help way up, because mostly we have incidental safety. Like an episode. If something happens, that's when we now see everybody jumping
Unfortunately, we only have 1 minute, so I really want your closing statement, and we also have to
a peaceful election ahead, and we urge the youths to be part of the solution.
Archbishop, wrap it up for us.
I'll repeat what I said earlier.
Yes.
If we want a peaceful Kenya, make every commission do their mandate. Let everyone take responsibility that is defined by the Constitution, and allow ourselves to do the work that we are supposed to do as leaders, and everything else we are talking about will correct itself.
I've been added 1 minute, and there's something that you wanted to say, so allow me to wrap it up.
Yes. I wanted us to have a structural safety kind of alignment, all the way from even our bedrooms to sitting rooms to boardrooms to places like this. Because people perceive that during elections, that's when we witness violence. No, it is revealing the broken society we have. So we need to, all of us, be part of a solution. Youths, women, everybody, the bishops here, to preach over and over that we need each other and we have no other country. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Bishop, we were speaking with my producer, Jackie Wasolo, and said that this conversation cannot end within these 2 hours. And especially when it comes, there's so many things, just like as G has pointed out, we have so many things that are broken that we are sweeping under the carpet, and we need to bring them out, and especially when it comes to family values as well. Thank you so much, lady and gentlemen, for making time. Very quickly, allow me to just reintroduce you, Madam Honorable Catherine Omanyo, who is the Secretary General for the Orange Democratic Movement. She's also a member of KWOPA and also the woman rep. We also have Archbishop Dr. Jackson Ole Sapit, who is the Anglican Archbishop. Just next to him, we have Sami Meli, who is a political analyst, and Ahmed Biro Hassan, who is a commissioner at the NCIC. This conversation, we will continue it a little bit later on, but thank you so much indeed for making time. My name is Bentroy Njue. We had Karon Joroge earlier on. Now we have Lucy Mwaura on the sign language interpretation. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm sure everybody has felt this way at one point in their lives. Anxiety is a normal human experience. But what if it starts to make you unwell? You cannot cope with work and it's interfering with your life. This now stops being normal anxiety and it requires to be addressed.
I had a massive anxiety attack and ended up self-harming. That's the first time I self-harmed. I'm a mental health advocate, I'm an artist, I'm a musician, but I'm passionate about mental health advocacy.
This Matatu is our safe space, and it's the place where we're going to have a very candid conversation. Anxiety is one of the most prevalent conditions. It's more prevalent than people think. You know, somebody is hearing anxiety, but they don't know what that feels like. What does that feel like for you?
Right now I'm shaking a bit and my breathing is a bit hard. There's a time it gets really bad. Like you can't even breathe. You panic even more the more you feel like your body is failing on you and your heart is beating so fast, you're sweating. You're kind of disoriented and you feel like running but you can't even run. Like it's so intense.
And I like that you've been so vulnerable to tell us that even now you're feeling it.
Yeah.
So I'd like to encourage you to just breathe. It's important to note that there are different types of anxiety disorders. The most common is generalized anxiety, whereby there is no specific trigger. But we also have phobias. There are people who are scared of dogs. There are people who are scared of things like trains or cars or driving. We're going to read a comment from the DW Africa Facebook community. This is from Frank Emelanjoku from Nigeria. He says, poverty and family issues is the cause of most of it. We saw a spike of anxiety disorders, especially in men, during the COVID pandemic when people were losing their jobs. And this was a big contributor to anxiety. But I would say that it's not the cause of most of it. There are very many other contributors. Sometimes there is trauma that can cause anxiety. Sometimes people go through a traumatic experience, and so they are multifactorial. And guess what? Genetic. A lot of anxiety is genetic. So there are many, many causes of anxiety. Something that many people with mental disorders have experienced is stigma. Is that something that you've experienced in your journey, or have you been lucky?
Actually, what happens, they concentrate so much with the illness and they forget the individual. So they end up having a negative perception towards the individual just because they don't understand the illness.
So aside from stigma, what other challenges have you experienced as somebody living with anxiety?
Okay, so one I could really point out is accessing mental health care. Yeah, it's available, but you find that it's quite inaccessible because it's expensive. When I asked about therapy, at that time I was told it was 4,000 per session. And at that time I was paying my rent in Buruburu, where I was studying, it was 6,000. I can imagine, like, should I use the 4,000 for, you see, now you have to put it aside for some time.
So one thing you've mentioned that's really important for anybody who's dealing with anxiety is coping mechanisms. What are some of your coping mechanisms?
Now, for example, I'll start with something really simple. This fidget ring I have helps me calm down. So it's something as simple as this. At times it's talking to a friend, getting enough sleep, making sure you've eaten, hanging out with friends, which I rarely do, but I do when I can. Seeing a therapist, listening to music, dancing, swimming. Hobbies, when it comes to my work, it's closely related. Actually, it was born from when I was aware of what I've been struggling with. So the Stronger Forum became a magazine. Then after the magazine, it became now what it is right now, which is a community-based organization. And we do a lot of advocacy. Yes, you will